Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Talk. This is Gerard Wellbrock. Join us as we talk football with Coach Chris Brown. We'll recap Saturday's victory at home over Central Oklahoma and a road trip to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and we'll do that right after this. Hello again, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you for the next 30 or so minutes as we talk Fort Hays State football. The Tigers now 2-1 after a 34-20 home win over Central Oklahoma, enduring an hour-and-a-half weather delay on Saturday night, and now getting set to hit the road once again, looking for their first road win of the season as they travel to Tahlequah to take on a much-improved Northeastern State team. Tiger Talk brought to you again this evening by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. We'll take our first break. When we come back, head coach Chris Brown will join us as Tiger Talk continues right after this.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Chris Brown with you as we talk some Fort Hays State football. The program brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro and by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where you can experience delicious cooked-to-order food and rich and creamy frozen custard churned throughout the day, fresh at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers on North Vine and Hays. Freddy's, it's the taste that brings you back. The Tigers 2-1. They knock off Central Oklahoma 34-20 on a crazy night Saturday night. It involved an hour-and-a-half weather delay, but the Tigers got off to the fast start and held on the rest of the night. And nice to get back in the win column. Your team played well and got the victory.
It was. We had a great week of practice that week. We did everything. If things weren't perfect, I always started over, did something over if it wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. So kids bought into it. They had a lot of enthusiasm and excitement during practice. They enjoyed practice, and I think they just got back in their old ways of doing things. And I'm really proud of the way the kids, rebounded from the previous week. But they did the things they needed to do to win that ball game.
You could almost sense from the pregame warm-up there was a different feel, and then from the opening kickoff, your team had a different feel about you. And I think it goes back to what you said, the way they practiced, but they felt like their old selves.
Yeah, they did. They had a great week of practice. They really got after in practice, did the things we asked them to do, really focused on their fundamentals and technique. Defensively, they really pursued the ball. Our offense was high tempo in practice as well. We did a couple extra things against each other as well, just to make sure that we kept that tempo going and kept that competitive edge, as the week went on. But our kids really responded well from last week, and I'm very, very proud of them.
We'll talk in more detail about the game, but a couple of things. Jacob Mazzara, very, very good game. Threw 3 touchdowns, ran for another. Just felt like you got him in the flow, got him some confidence early, got a lot of different people involved. Shaquille Cooper in the passing game, and boy, he really responded. By far his best game as a Tiger.
It was. I'm very, very proud of him and the way he's really stepped up from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 now, and maybe we just need to run him a little bit more. Just get him a little more confidence. He's a big kid. He's a strong kid. He runs very well, and maybe he just needed to get hit a few times. But he laid a few licks himself on a couple of those DBs. But I'm very proud of his performance and the things he did for us to help us win that ball game.
How about the offensive line? You made some changes, trying to find a combination that worked, and I would say it worked pretty good. That's maybe the best performance the O-line has had this year.
It was. Burke really came in and did a good job at center for us, and moving Chico and Dickey to guard really helped us out, and putting Tally at right tackle. And the freshman Pat Kelly really stepped up and did a great job this week. He was our offensive lineman of the week this week as well, just by his performance and him stepping in and doing the job that he did. But yeah, they did a great job of keeping pressure off Jake and giving our running backs some room to run, and just they don't need much. You just give them a little seam and they're going to get through there and get some good yards.
It seemed like the offense just had a different flow to it. You got Shaquille the ball in space. Kenneth Aim had a big game, but I'm not going to say that you were conservative, but took a few more shots downfield. It just had a different feel offensively as well.
It did, and I talked a lot in practice about, last year we had Brock Long, was our guy, and everybody kind of rallied around Brock Long, and then Travion Albert, kind of the same thing, and it was 3rd and 3. You knew he was going to go get a first down somehow, and I challenged our guys this week of who's going to be that guy, who's going to be the guy that we rallied around and get things going, and our kids stepped up to that challenge, and when I saw them on Saturday, it looked like everybody wanted to be that guy, to be the guy that was the playmaker for us and get those things done. Maxie blocking on the edge. Iheem, I think on that one run where it was 3rd and 2, squirted out, kept his legs driving, got 42 yards. I mean, those are the type of plays we're looking for out of our kids, to keep things going and keep things, keep plays alive.
And on the defensive side of the ball, they played well, and I thought they tackled a lot better.
A lot better, and our pursuit was a lot better than the previous 2 weeks. I mean, we had, 9 to 11 guys getting to the ball every single time, and we were hitting people this week. So I thought this was by far our most physical game of the year, and just our guys played really, really well this week.
Well, the Tigers get the victory, 34-20 over Central Oklahoma. We'll recap it in a little bit more detail when we come back. Tiger Talk presented by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. We're back with more right after this.
The year 1948, we said goodbye to the Babe. Truman upset Dewey, and KAYS AM signs on the air. Flash forward to 2016. This year we said goodbye to Prince. We find out if it will be Hillary or Trump, and KAYS FM signs on the air. 1400 AM KAYS, now also on 94.3 FM. It's Hayes' greatest hits. KAYS, sounding great since 1948.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. The program brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they have the delicious cook-to-order double steak burger and crispy shoestring fries seasoned with the Freddy's famous seasoning. You can finish it off with their signature turtle sundae made with their fresh, creamy frozen custard. Located on North Vine and Hayes, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. It's the taste that brings you back. And Fort Hays State got off to a very good start, a very quick start on Saturday night against Central Oklahoma. Scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. You got the ball and were able to get it in on a 30-yard touchdown pass to Shaquille Cooper. But I think what was impressive on that first drive, and we talked about it last week, how really miserable 3rd down had been for you guys this year. 3 third down conversions on that opening drive. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11, and then you got the big hitter to Shaquille for the score.
Yeah, that was huge, and that's something we preached all week. First down's got to be great for us. Second down's got to be great for us. A couple of drives they weren't, but we found a way to get it done. In 3rd and long situations, and Jake just sat in there. Our offensive line gave him plenty of time, and it was a play that we ran many times before, and finally popped open, squared open, and Jake was able to hit it. So very proud of our offense for converting on those 3rd downs, because those eventually are going to lead to touchdowns, and that's what they did for us.
And you overcame a penalty, because you didn't have as many, and you did a better job in that regard, but it had a holding penalty, kind of a freaky play with Shaquille diverse directions, and sometimes those things happen, but overcame it in the very next play, were able to hit that big 30-yard TD pass.
Yeah, it was. You never know where Shaq's going to go. He'll be right, and he's going to be left, and he's going to go back right, and he's going to go north, and he's going to go south. You just never know, but he's the type of athlete that can make those type of things happen, and Max just got caught up with a defensive back and had his hands on him, driving him to the ground. Guy kind of threw him, and it's kind of hard to let go at those times. But Romello Burke had a great hit on that as well. I mean, he laid that guy out. But we overcame that type of adversity for once in a game, and we just kept rolling from there.
Get a 3-and-out defensively, get the ball back, and you kind of alluded to it earlier, that 42-yard run by Kenneth Iheem. That was really the big play, at least one of the 2 big plays on that following drive. That got you deep into their territory, and it was remarkable because it looked like he was stopped, somehow bounced out, and then had a big seam up your sideline.
Oh, he did. He had a big defensive tackle on his back, and he broke that tackle, ran into another wall, and broke another tackle, and just kind of squirted out and kept going. I thought he was going to score, but, he did. But that was a situation where we needed something to happen. And it's something we've been talking about our kids all week long. We need somebody to step up and do something big for us. And, he did it in that situation. It really kind of got the ball rolling for us on offense, and then, gave us some spark on defense as well.
And then Shaquille gets the 21-yard touchdown catch. Made a guy look really, really silly trying to tackle him. Somehow kept his balance and stayed in bounds as he tiptoed the sideline and then just got it inside the pylon at the goal line.
He did, on that play, he actually made two of them.
Yeah.
The first guy missed, second guy went right by him, and the third guy, he just, kind of buried his shoulder and got to the end zone. But that's what we're looking for out of him. Usually he chops his feet and loses his feet and doesn't score, always falls down. But that time he did exactly what we needed him to do and got to the end zone.
It was the new green shoes that he wore, but it seemed like maybe I can remember one time where he kind of danced before he got to the line of scrimmage. It seemed like he hit the hole harder, and even plays where he got hit at the line of scrimmage, still able to get 3 and 4 yards.
And those are things I've really been trying to work with him on and stressing to him is, you're a great runner. Just use your power sometimes, because he is a very strong kid. If he'd ever just hit the hole and break a couple tackles, he can get vertical and go. So he's, he's starting to focus on those things a little bit more. And once he really understands what we want out of him, he's going to be a tremendous player for us.
14-0, your defense gets another stop, you get the ball back, and then the weather hits, and you're going to the locker room for an hour and a half. Obviously, you handled it well, but what do you do? It's the second time in 2 seasons you've had to deal with that at home, and I guess it probably helps being at home. But how do you handle a lengthy weather delay like that?
We learned from the first time. The first time we didn't do it very well. So the second time we came in, last year I kept coming, all right, 20 minutes we're going to go out. All right, 30 minutes we're going to go out. And then 15 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm not going to say a thing to the kids until we know for sure when we're going to go out. And we came in here and gave them some power bars and some water and some Gatorade and listened to some music and kind of went over on the board over some things that we need to change up or fix. And it just kind of kept them ready, kept them calm, relaxed, and don't lose your intensity, but don't use up your intensity type thing. And then when it was time to go, it was 5 minutes before we were going to go out, and I was sure we were going out. That's when I came in this time and said, all right, we got to go start off where we left off, and our kids did that.
Guys got warmed up, and then the very first play after the hour-and-a-half weather delay, you hit the freshman Lane Bieberly, burned by the corner, and he takes it in on a 62-yard TD strike.
That was huge, and those are things that we're looking at him. He's going to be a tremendous player for us. I mean, just a redshirt freshman, you're going to see him for 3 more years after this, and he's going to continue to make plays like that. He's just one of those kids that's very competitive, and heck, you even saw Andrew J. catch a ball as well. So, we're just going to continue to use those guys and get them better each week, because we know they're going to compete and go after the ball and make things happen.
Exchanged some punts there for the rest of the quarter, then got some field goals. They get one late, but you only had a couple of 3-and-outs, and that had been a problem as well. Even some of the drives you didn't score, the offense still able to pick up a first down or two, use some clock, give that defense a break. First time this year we've seen that happen.
I think so. I think this is the first time all year that they've helped each other out. Offense helped defense, defense helped offense, our special teams helped both, and we finally played together as a team, and you could really show in just the way we played the game and the way our kids, played more physical during the game as well, but it just seemed not as chaotic as it has the last 2 weeks. It was just more, it was smoother, things went well for us, and we just continued to play hard.
Tigers up 24-10 at halftime after the Broncos drove deep into the Tiger territory but had to settle for a field goal. We'll talk about the second half when we return. Tiger Talk presented by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and by Mocha's, and we're back right after this.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayespost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, real country. 99 KZ Country.
Back on Tiger Talk, Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. It's brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro, where you can start your day off with a hot coffee and breakfast from Mocha's, or try one of their signature sandwiches, paninis, salads, or wraps. That's all for lunch, along with your favorite drinks, plus, of course, cheesecake, scones, and much, much more. There's something for every meal at Mocha's, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. Tigers are up 24-10 at halftime over Central Oklahoma Saturday night. Broncos got the ball to start the second half. They just scored the field goal to close out the first half, but your defense gets a good start, forces a 3-and-out. Second week in a row now, the defense has gotten the ball when the opponent had it to start the third quarter and got it back without giving up anything.
It is, and then that was huge for us. We had to come out, get a 3-and-out, get the ball back to our offense, and give them an opportunity to score. And, it's one of those situations where you're just sitting there thinking, okay, last year we were at UCO. I think they were up 21 to, I think they're about 21 points,
yeah.
And we came back and won it in the second half. And I made sure our guys remembered that because I knew that was in the back of UCO's mind as well. But got the stop, got the ball back to our offense. Not a lot happened, I don't think, in the third quarter, but you know, it was what we needed to get done.
Exchange field goals the next 2 possessions, and Brown hit a couple of more field goals, and he's proven to be a valuable weapon. We haven't seen how far he can kick it yet, but every time, well, he just blasts that ball up there. And then his kickoffs, as much as anything, I mean, Central wasn't even looking to return those. He was hitting them well, either into the wind or against. Didn't matter.
No, it doesn't. He's got a very, very strong leg, and you know, he communicates with me very, very well. Of, you know, this is where I can hit it from. Hey, coach, the wind's changed directions. Now it's 42 over here and 32 over there. So he's always in my ear chirping. And there was a situation there where I almost let him do it when we had the ball, you know, around the 42-yard line. But I was just like, you know, I don't want to take a chance here. If you miss it, they got great field position. They can go down and score. I want to try to pin him deep. And, you know, we did that.
Exchange the field goals, and then really the one mistake by Jacob. He throws the interception, and it leads to a UCO touchdown early in the fourth quarter. They cut it to 7. Really, the only mistake he made trying to maybe force that one to the end zone.
It was, and that's just him understanding the situation too. You know, it was 3rd and long, and we're in field goal range, a chance to get points on the board. You know, we know Brown can make it, and you know, he just threw it up there. Probably needs to throw it a little bit higher, where Beverly can get it, not the defender. So mistake. Hopefully he'll learn from, and you know, next time, either we catch the touchdown or we knock it down and just kick a field goal to get the points.
They put together an 80-yard scoring drive, tied the game 27-20, and you knew they'd make a push, and there you were right there. But to your team's credit, you're able to come back with a 9-play, 78-yard scoring drive, and that's what you have to like to see. They put some pressure on, they're back in the game, it's a 1-possession score, and your offense answers with a long, lengthy, time-consuming drive and get points.
Yeah, as a coach, you're really nervous at that point. You know, you go 3 and out, give them a short field, they get right back in the game, tie it up, and but you know, our offense did exactly what we needed to get done, converting on 3rd downs, getting them, you know, putting themselves in a situation to convert on those 3rd downs as well. But that was huge for us going down and scoring again, to kind of not really put the game away, but you know, make it a 2-score game. And
then Jacob scores on the 19-yard run. Pretty impressive. Stiff-armed the corner, trying to take him down, and then got it into the end zone. You've touched on it earlier. He's a good runner. He's not going to be confused by Travion Albert, certainly, but he's very effective, and his size helps out, and it really loosens things up for you guys offensively.
It really does. You know, now you got to really account for Jake in the run game as well, not just, you know, Shaq and Aheem and Malik and those guys. You know, now they really got to focus on, you know, Jake too in that game. Then now it's going to allow us to do some play action stuff, some boot action as well. So, you know, that just really opened up our offense a little bit more. I knew he could do it. It was just him believing in himself, and I think this game he really got some confidence, and you know, he ran it very hard.
Central came back, got it in striking range, got it down inside the 5, and coughed it up. Kind of deja vu to a year ago when they lost 2 fumbles near the goal line. This one in the end zone, you recover to keep them off the board, and then again a lengthy drive. You never let them have it back to give them any chance. And I know as a coach that's got to be pleasing when you got the ball, chance to secure the game, and your team just did that.
Yeah, that was huge. You know, still don't know who calls the fumbles, either Sheldon Schmidt or Nathan Shepard, so we're both going to give helmet stickers to both of them because it's such a pile in there, you really can't tell. Dunnigan falls on it. I wish we just would have fell on it instead of making me nervous running around in the end zone, fumbles, and they recover. But, you know, it worked out for us. Our offense got the ball back on the 20, drove all the way down the field, and it's kind of one of those situations, you know, you want to score, but you don't want to score, and, you know, you're just trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? If I take a knee, is he going to call a timeout? Now it's 2nd and long, so, you know, we were just going to run the ball, and if we got it in the end zone, we were going to score anyway. So whatever it was, it worked out for us well.
Got it down to the 4, and the clock ran out, and Fort Hays State gets the 34-20 victory. Fort Hays State now 2-1 on the year and getting set to hit the road. They'll be in Tahlequah this Saturday afternoon, taking on a much improved Northeastern State team. We'll talk about the Saturday afternoon game when we return right after this.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM. Do you believe in love? Story. Well,
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. It's our final segment here today. The program brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, and of course Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they have the delicious cook-to-order steak burgers, Chicago-style hot dogs, and piping hot shoestring fries, all family favorites. You'll be greeted with hospitality that's second to none, whether you're dining in or visiting the drive-thru. And be sure to leave room for Freddy's Premium Vanilla or Chocolate Frozen Custard, churned fresh throughout the day. Freddy's on North Vine in Hayes. It's the taste that brings you back. Fort Hays State 2-1, taking on Northeastern State. The Riverhawks are 1-2, but boy, they easily could be 2-1. Big win a couple of weeks ago at home over Lindenwood, and nearly pulled one off Saturday night in Pittsburgh, losing in overtime to Pittsburgh State. Obviously a very, very improved Northeastern State team.
They are a very, very good football team right now. I mean, their offensive line, they got big offensive linemen that move people off the ball. Got great wide receivers that have great body control and very, very good hands. Got a quarterback that was at Minnesota, transferred to Hutch, and now he's at Tahlequah. But he's a good football player as well. He's a big kid that runs well, and their defense flies around too, so they are a very much improved football team from last year.
Yeah, averaging 30 points a game and over 420 yards of offense per contest. Obviously much, much better on that side of the ball.
They are, they spread it out quite a bit. They're going to give you some trips and some doubles, and they're going to give you two back sets, and they're going to run their quarterback and their tailback, and they're a very solid team right now. I mean, they're doing things very, very well, and each week they get even better. So, they're going to be a scary team here on Saturday.
You mentioned Dominic McKenzie, their transfer quarterback. About 278, 280 yards per game. But what's impressive, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions for the first 3 weeks.
None at all, and he does a good job of scrambling as well. And he doesn't really throw a bad ball. He keeps it away from the defenders. They do a good job of mixing up their routes, running short routes, running deep routes. But he always makes sure that he puts the ball only where his receiver can catch it. And he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. So we got to find a way to get some pressure on him, keep him in the pocket, and hopefully force him to make 1 or 2 bad throws.
When you play a program that has struggled like they have over the last several years, at least since they've joined the MIAA, and now they're improved, but the fact that your team, when they watch game film, it's going to be against Pittsburgh State, and they certainly know what the Gorillas are all about. Does that help maybe get them to believe pretty quickly that, hey, this is a legit football team?
I think so, and I think that, our kids are starting to understand that every team in this conference is a legit football team, but seeing how this team played against Pitt and the way they competed and battled all the way through the game, had a chance to win it there at the end in overtime, but went for 2 instead of just kicking the field goal tied up to go into another overtime. But when you watch them against Pitt, they look good and they look physical and they look fast. So our kids will see that, and they better be prepared for a good football team.
And it'll be interesting to see how your team responds. Last week it was a challenge to let's get this thing jump-started and play Tiger football. Now they did that. How do they respond to playing well and having a nice victory? Can they continue that here to another week in a row?
Yeah, you usually see your biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2. Ours was from week 2 to week 3, and now we got to build off that game that we had last week, and even get better this week. Solidify some things offensively, and then defensively the same way. We got to get some more turnovers on defense just to get the ball back to our offense, and maybe find a few things that will give them some troubles, defensively. So hopefully we can score some big plays off of them. But we got to go down there and battle, and we got to compete. But we got to have a great week of practice, where that's not going to happen for us.
Sounds good. Well, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on a great victory Saturday night, and best of luck in Tahlequah. Hopefully, when we do this again next Monday, we're talking about a 3-1 Tiger team.
I hope so. Thanks, Gerard.
That is Chris Brown, head coach of the Fort Hays State Tigers. And again, a reminder, Fort Hays State in Tahlequah. It's a 1 o'clock kick Saturday afternoon, noon for the Auto World pregame show on Tiger Radio Mix 103. Tiger Talk presented by the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams, Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, BTI, and Horizon Appliance and Electronics. And again, a reminder, if you missed any portion of the program, you can catch it online at HayesPost.com, and the video replay on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614 on Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10, and then again at 7 o'clock for the video replay of Tiger Talk, which is presented by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hayes, the taste that brings you back, and by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro at 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. For head coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long, everyone.
We get it. You work hard and play hard. Internet should be the last thing slowing you down. Eagle Communications gives you the speed you need so you can play hard and save cash. For a limited time, get 30 meg for $30 or 50 meg for $50 so you can work, play, and save. Call us at 877-61-EAGLE today.